The following is written on April 16, 1890. To the editor of the Times. Sir, in November 1886, you were kind enough to insert in the Times a letter from me drawing attention to the case of Joseph Merrick, known as the Elephant Man. It was one of singular and exceptional misfortune. His physical deformities were of so appalling a character that he was disbarred from earning a livelihood in any other way than by being exhibited to the gaze of the curious. This having been rightly interfered with by the police of this country, he was taken abroad by an Austrian adventurer and exhibited at different places on the continent. But one day, his exhibitor, after stealing all the savings poor Merrick had carefully hoarded, decamped, leaving him destitute, friendless, and powerless in a foreign country. With great difficulty, he succeeded somehow or other in getting to the door of the London hospital, where, through the kindness of one of our surgeons, he was sheltered for a time. The difficulty then arose as to his future. No incurable hospital would take him in. He had a horror of the workhouse, and no place where privacy was unattainable was to be thought of, while the rules and necessities of our general hospital forbade the fund and space, which are set apart solely for cure and healing, being utilized for the maintenance of a chronic case like this, however abnormal. In this dilemma, while deterred by common humanity from evicting him again into the open street, I wrote to you. And from that moment all difficulty vanished. The sympathy of many was aroused, and although no other fitting refuge offered, a sufficient sum was placed at my disposal apart from the funds of the hospital to maintain him for what did not promise to be a prolonged life. As an exceptional case, the committee agreed to allow him to remain in the hospital upon the annual payment of a sum equivalent to the average cost of an occupied bed. He therefore, poor Merrick, was enabled to pass the 3.5 remaining years of his life in privacy and comfort. The authorities of the hospital, the medical staff, the chaplain, the sisters, and nurses united to alleviate as far as possible the misery of his existence, and he learnt to speak of his room at the hospital as his home. There he received kindly visits from many, among them the highest in the land, and his life was not without various interests and diversions. He was a great reader and was well supplied with books through the kindness of a lady, one of the brightest ornaments of the theatrical profession. He was taught basket making, and on more than one occasion he was taken to the play, which he witnessed from the seclusion of a private box. He benefited much from the religious instruction of our chaplain, and Dr. Walsham Howe, then Bishop of Bedford, privately confirmed him, and was able, by waiting in the vestry, to hear and take part in the chapel services. The days before his death, Merrick was twice thus attending the chapel services, and in the morning partook of the Holy Communion. And in the last conversation he had with him, Merrick had expressed his feeling of deep gratitude for all that had been done for him here, and his acknowledgment of the mercy of God to him in bringing him to this place. Each year, he much enjoyed a 6 weeks outing in a quiet cottage, but was always glad on his return to find himself once more at home. In spite of all this indulgence, he was quiet and unassuming, very grateful for all that was done for him, and conformed himself rapidly to the restrictions which were necessary. I have given these details, thinking that those who sent money to use for his support would like to know how their charity was applied. Last Friday afternoon, though apparently in his usual health, he quietly passed away in sleep. I have left in my hands a small balance of the money which has been sent to me from time to time for his support. And this I now propose, after paying certain gratuities, to hand over to the general funds of the hospital. This course, I believe, will be consonant with the wishes of the contributors. It was the courtesy of the Times in inserting my letter in 1886 that procured for this afflicted man a comfortable protection during the last years of a previously wretched existence. And I desire to take this opportunity to thankfully acknowledging it. I am, sir, your obedient servant, F.C. Cargum, House Committee, Room London Hospital, 15th of April.